saying that Vitali was pretty much driving on the limit or even over it in his defense, moving around a bit in the braking zones and stuff. I heard that discussed on one of the many podcasts I listen to. People saying that, it was on the limit. But I think if it was Lewis Hamilton, he would have gotten a penalty for it. But luckily he didn't, because, these guys need to race, and he didn't do anything outrageously stupid like Buemi, for instance, who, basically just squeezed Heidfeld right on the grass and out of the race. I mean, that was a pretty irresponsible move. I think it's pretty clear Buemi did see Heidfeld. He was looking in his mirror, and he's like, he's not on the left, and I can't see him behind him. Where would he be? On the right, perhaps? And he still moves over on the right. And Heidfeld was being optimistic. He wouldn't have made that pass stick, but he had his car there, and he's right. And like I always say, the overtaker has a responsibility to... the overtaker definitely has a responsibility to make sure that, the overtake is clean. And here Buemi just basically moved over on the side as if nobody was there. Yeah, sure, Heidfeld wasn't alongside 100%, but he was there. His nose was there. There's no reason to be slamming into him like that. And it could have been a very nasty accident. I loved it how Heidfeld was like waving his hand like, oh, god damn it, you motherfucker. You ruined my race, while he was still in the power slide in the gravel. Another news, what was there? Oh, Karun Chandok. That was a surprise. Like I said, I was in Germany during the Grand Prix. Sadly, not at the Nürburgring. I was in Berlin. And, visiting and stuff, so didn't get a lot of time to follow the race. I did, but I went on Saturday evening. I checked the news. I wanted to see the qualifying, and luckily enough, I managed to catch a rerun of it. And I saw Chandok in the Lotus. I was like, whoa, what the hell happened here? Was truly injured or whatever? But no, it seems like, maybe Chandok found himself a wad of cash or something. Or, what's probably more likely is, there's a wad of cash, which is mandatory. And you probably want to prepare him a bit for the Indian Grand Prix. Because, now that he's already taken a Trulli seat for one race, they're definitely going to let him drive the Indian Grand Prix. There's a bit of a prestige battle going on there. You got Force India, who's definitely going to have a lot of support in the home Grand Prix. And, Tony Fernandez, the shrewd guy that he is, probably wants to, get some of that attention by slapping an Indian driver in his car. There's probably going to be Cardican in the HRT again just for that race. Probably giving Chandok some race time, getting used to the Pirellis. But he was piss poor. Sorry, but Ricciardo in his first race was quite a bit off, but he wasn't a lap down on his teammate. He was 40 seconds down. So yeah, but still, Chandok, who's did spend half a season racing. It's not like the guy's completely inexperienced. He did 10 Grand Prix last year in a crap car, granted, but. Yeah, I love the guy. Don't get me wrong. Chandok is awesome. He's one of the best when it comes to fan interaction. He's a great commentator. So here we're up, and I'm still in P5, but I'm starting to catch Rosberg now. And I'm hoping some of these people are still going to pit. Because, of course, with the Pirelli mod, tires are key, of course. So someone might pit. I think Vettel definitely was on a two-stopper because he pitted quite early. And we'll see what the rest will do. But yeah, Chandok, back to him. Yeah, just disappointing. He's a great commentator, great guy, but not a great driver. Sorry to say. He's 27 years old as well, so you can't say, he's young and, he's still got a long way to go. He doesn't really. He's 27 years old. He's older than Lewis Hamilton, for crying out loud. And, everybody and their mom is older than Sebastian Vettel. But, we got to put that in perspective. The guy is still so damn young, and he's already in a dominating car, dominating the season. Because, we're talking about Red Bull failure a bit in Germany, but, remember, they're third and fourth. They still extend their lead in the Constructors' Championship, and Vettel, lost a bit of his lead to his teammate. A whole whopping 3 points. He lost more compared to Lewis Hamilton, but then again, Lewis had lost more than that. But we gotta say, Vettel's gonna have at least one DNF this year, right? He has to. Now that the McLaren boys have gotten their DNFs out of the way. One DNF, that's 25 points, bam, out of that lead. So you're 2 wins and a little bit off. So it's still playable. It's still playable, but yeah, something's gonna happen to Vettel. He's had a bad race. I mean, a lot of mistakes. Qualifying in third, then that spin in the race, and then just not being on the pace. And what was most telling for me, I mean, back to Silverstone, he was stuck behind Hamilton, and he was clearly faster at that point, but he just could not find a way past. I think Hamilton defended very cleanly on that. I don't think I heard any comments against Hamilton on that, except for the Hamilton hater crowd. But yeah, it was a very clean defense, but just Vettel just could not find a way past, and he was on fresher tires. I think in any case, it was clear that he was much faster than Hamilton. And then again, in Germany, now he was stuck behind Massa for like 30 laps or something, and he just could not find a way past. And I mean, yeah, it's a Ferrari, but it's also Massa, who, you know, I like the guy, but I'm not very impressed with him. Let's put it that way. And just couldn't find a way past. I mean, yeah, sure, Vettel's probably in a mode that he's like, you know, I just need to take the points, no need to take risks. Another thing to that is the Weber team orders in Silverstone. Horner was saying as if the only way this could have ended is in the wall, and it would have been horrible and stupid. But that tends to forget one thing, is there can be clean overtakes. You can tell your drivers to race, but be clean. So it's just, to me, Horner just doesn't have any confidence in his drivers' racing skill, you know, his racing pedigree on track, you know, wheel-to-wheel banging. And it's a cliche about Vettel that's been quite hard to dispel. I mean, people have been saying this for quite a while, you know. He was the crash kid last year with some dumbass moves. And this year, you know, the few times he was in a position he really had to overtake, he hasn't been able to. Sure, you're going to tell me, yeah, but he did some overtakes, and, you know, Button in Melbourne around the outside. And yeah, sure, he's done some overtakes, but that's after he came out of the pits on fresh tires, overtaking guys behind him on old tires that haven't pitted yet. So you can't really classify that as a wheel-to-wheel racing overtake, you know. Here, he had 2 perfect opportunities against Hamilton and against Massa, and in a way to defend against Weber, and he didn't take them. Weber, he relied on the team orders. Massa, he couldn't find a way past except for the pit stop. Hamilton, guess what? He couldn't find a way past except for pit stop strategy. And in the Hamilton case, it was even clear that, to me, it seemed that they called him in exactly just for that, because they weren't confident he would get around. And it's not that the tracks or something don't lend them to. You know, we saw some pretty ballsy overtakes, both in Germany and in Silverstone. I mean, Germany, Hamilton's overtake on Alonso around the outside. Yeah, sure, that was on cold tires versus warmed up tires. But then his fight against Weber, that was a pretty straight up fight. Look at this! Fuck up majorly. I don't know what the hell happened there, but the back end just snapped out on me, and that leaves Vettel back through, who had a pit stop, which I didn't even notice because I'm rambling on like an idiot. So yeah, we're down in P5, and we were catching Rosberg. That's the worst part of it. We were definitely catching Rosberg bit by bit. Don't know if it would have been enough, but we were catching him. But yeah, major mistake. So yeah, I'm subscribing to the theory that Vettel, you know, just does not have the wheel-to-wheel racing skills yet. You know, like I said, the guy is still young. Give him a few more years experience and he'll definitely have them. But as for now, I mean, he's comfortable leading from the front, and that's the hope for the championship too. I saw this in the news today, like Ferrari, Alonso was calling on Ferrari, you know, give him a better car so he can qualify better, and that's what's needed. You need to put Vettel in the pack, not on the front row. So he can't stretch his leg and, you know, bang in his quick laps like only he can do. They need McLaren to beat him. They need Weber to beat him. They need the Ferraris to beat him in quali, so that he's stuck in the pack. And then we'll see Vettel making some mistakes. I mean, it's a combination. Yeah, he's not a great overtaker. I think that's pretty clear. But he's also not taking any risks, and he doesn't need to. I mean, he got P5 in Germany. Yeah, it wasn't too bad, and there was still the pit stops. I mean, Vettel must have known, the Red Bull guys must have known, everybody knows how bad the Ferrari is on the hard tire. Of course, it was the medium compound, but the Ferraris just were unable to switch that tire on. And I think he would have gotten him anyway, even without the botched pit stop by Massa. Because if you could see, yeah, he came out, a second or two behind Vettel after the pit stop, but it was like 5 seconds behind him once they got over the grid. Sure, Massa was probably not pushing anymore and a bit demoralized. But we saw this with the Ferraris continually. In the beginning of the stints, they were just pretty slow, and then they just slowly worked up to the pace to really be very fast near the end of the stints. So I think he would have gotten him anyway in the pit stop. So Vettel's just not taking any risks, and why blame him? He doesn't need to. I think if he finishes 4th or 5th every time in the next couple races, he'll still be world champion. It's a Jenson Button recipe, basically. Do damage control, do good where your car is good, and just pick up as many points. Don't get any DNFs, and just pick up points regularly. I mean, he's got more than a 3-win cushion, so the guy isn't forced to go past and do some bonsai moves, But still, I'm a bit disappointed. This was his home crowd. He must have wanted to deliver a good result. And yeah, the only excitement from him was a spin and taking Massa in the pit stops. So yeah, it's just a bit sad. I want to see Vettel prove us wrong and say, here I can overtake. I haven't really seen anything as ballsy as Webber or Alonso or Hamilton have pulled off this year. Again, he didn't need to, but still, it's one chink in his armor. He can't get under pressure when he's not out at the front, when he has to battle it out in the pack. And you see, Alguersuari is doing pretty well in this race and in the real F1 as well. I've been pretty surprised with Jaime. I thought it was all done. He was getting stomped by Buemi, and then along came Canada, and sure enough, Alguersuari fumbled Q1 yet again and was in P18. And then the team, because that's one thing to note. Yes, Alguersuari has been doing good. He's been doing good getting those results in, getting those points finished. But how much is that is due to A, fucking it up in Q1 so that he has a bunch of fresh tires? Because P18 has been a place where a lot of people have scored points from, more than people in P17, let's say. Webber did his drive in China from P18, and a lot of people done some great stuff from P18. And then his team changes setup to a wet setup for Canada, which he benefited from a lot in that monsoon of a race. Then there was Valencia, where he drove very well yet again, but again fumbled it in Q1, again got out in Q3. So I'm just thinking we shouldn't be blinded by, the points results, and also see how they came about. Because Valencia was, again, great team strategy that got him in the position where he was. He did great to execute it. All credit to him for that. But, I'm still not convinced by Alguersuari. Let's just put it that way. I want to see him pull a good quality together and, on merit, really, get through. Buemi has seemed a bit phased, though, by it. He got beaten by Alguersuari for the first time in ages in Germany, I think. Pretty sure he did, yeah, because... No, Kobayashi was the first one out, but I still think Buemi was behind Alguersuari on the grid already before he got the penalty for the illegal fuel, whatever, gas. And, then there was this silly move with Heidfeld I've discussed earlier, which was just dangerous and stupid. And now I just read that he's going to get a 5-place grid penalty for that next race. So the stewards have agreed with me, I guess. That it was dangerous and stupid and very similar to Schumacher trying to ram Barrichello into the wall on this very straight last year. But yeah, I don't know. I've never been a Schumacher fan, but I just want the man to do good this year. I don't know. It has something kind of sad, the old legend just struggling and, well, he managed to keep his nose intact for once in this last race, which is a feat for him already this year, because, the composite department at Mercedes are working overtime. We're lapping our first guy, we're still in P5, and we're still catching up here. Only 3 seconds now. Rosberg, who got passed by Vettel, so Vettel's been flying on his last stint on his fresher tires, of course. He came out the pits, I don't know, at 42 or something. So he's got the freshest tires of us all, and it seems to be working for him. So he's storming, look at him, you know, it's getting the gap to Rosberg all the way. And I'm catching up to Rosberg as well. Got the engine mode on fast, but pretty soon I'm going to be hearing from Rob, we might have a problem with the engine. You might have to turn it down. And it's like, what, I might? Or am I? You know, do I have to turn it down? And we all know it's fuel. Why don't you just say you're going to run out of fuel? We need to save fuel. That at least it seems in the 2011 game they're working on. Better race engineer. No more of the, I don't know, I think it was sort of a joke inside Codemasters to have Rob the idiot with his whatever stupid British, you know, accent from wherever it is in, and they must have found it hilariously funny. But you know, in a F1 game, you're not supposed to have, you know, inside jokes or stuff like that. Just give us a competent race engineer. And from what I've heard and seen in the footage that's been released or leaked and stuff on YouTube and from the press events, it looks like the race engineer is going to be a lot better, and he definitely should be, because here he's catching up to Rosberg. We're only 2.5 seconds off, so he might get one up our teammate and, you know, restore the Schumi glory. He needs to finish out of Rosberg, that's for sure. And race engineer looks, I don't know how it'll work, but it'll be crucial in 2011. You know, Pirelli tires and curves and brake balance and you know, especially the other cars' pit strategy, because already here I'm in trouble. I don't know who's pitted once, who's pitted twice, who's going to pit again. Well, of course, you know, one lap from the end, maybe not a lot of people, unless you're Vettel and Massa, who pitted on the last lap. That's pretty cool. I mean, I like that. I guess everybody was hoping a bit for rain, and well, the Ferraris in particular were hoping to just not pit for the hards at all, because they may say they've gotten on top of the issue, but let's be honest, they haven't. Ooh, while looking in the rearview mirror, I take a little excursion, and we're keeping the gap down, but here I figured, yeah, fuck, I'm gonna run out of fuel, and yeah, short shifting, and that's the end of my challenge. I probably was a bit too cautious, and I probably shouldn't have cared. Who cares if I run out of fuel, you know, still have a nice race. So that's pretty much the end of it, really. The last 2 laps, there's Rosberg, you know, still eking out ahead again, 1/10 up. I don't know if I could have gotten him. It's a possibility. I think I could have, you know, in a special spot. Yeah, they're pretty good around this track. There's no particular corner where they're like super slow. There's a few where they're slower than they should, and a few where they're faster than they should. But in general, it's a pretty, you know, for once a track, Codemasters got the AI right. Although the qualifying time is just insane. I mean, 1:22s really. I mean, a retard blindfolded could do that. But yeah, and yeah, as usual, this is of course expert AI, and we're heading into the final lap. Finally. Wasn't as much of a challenge as Catalonia, where I was really, you know, that was harsh. It was a longer as well, 100% race. This 75% is already something I just couldn't bring myself to do, 100% race. So yeah, I did my little preview here, what I think is going to be in Hungary. I haven't reviewed the race yet on my blog, like I said, but I'll do that. And I'll make a post on it, and if you guys like, there's already a few guys joining in on that, which is always good fun. Share your predictions for the race this year. Haven't really thought it through yet. I'm thinking the Red Bulls are going to be pretty strong again. We'll see. I'm thinking the Red Bulls will just pretty much put everyone back in their place. And, you know, Ferrari's going to come, you know, pushing again. McLaren, I'm not too confident. I think Lewis just dragged that car where it wasn't supposed to be this weekend, but you can't repeat that all the time. And just for good measure, you know, we're short shifting, we're cruising it home, we're just trying to keep Jaime behind us. P6, he must have been ecstatic with that. So yeah, make sure you check out my blog, backmarkersf1.wordpress.com. You can tweet me at thevillainf1. Always lots of tweets going on with some good fellas out there, some good interaction. If you want to know when the next vid coming out, for instance, I got quite a lot of tweets. When's your next vid? Which is appreciated. Was always respectful and kind, so that's nice. We're not getting a Vettel finger, not getting a Schumi hop, and you know, 5th. I think if Schumi finishes 5th in one of the coming races, he's gonna be pretty pleased. Because that means he's beaten, you know, some of the better teams. Look at that surprise result. The pole, Nick Heidfeld. Looks like they missed that one out. Is in P2. Who's behind? Wimmer Glock. Where's my? Oh, we didn't see. Here's just a little snippet for you. Here you see the Renault quite well there on the right. Just a little bit of the replay. Won't show much else of that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a long time. I can't promise anyone soon. I'm gonna try, like I said, give one for the next race. But it's the summer break, so I got some time to do the race in. Is it Spa already? The next one? Yeah, after the summer break, it's Spa first. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do a vid for that, and basically that's it. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed another vid. Keep posting your comments, liking, subbing. Check out my bud Agent Mulder and Andrew Bortz's channel. It's Andrew Bortz's channel. He's racing, and Agent Mulder's doing some commentary for him on there. So check it out. If you feel I'm too slow on the vids, check out that channel. I'll put a link in the comments. Well, in the description below. And until next time, peace out. I'll leave you with this footage.